To our YouTube page. We are the East West Football Podcast. I am your host, Fidel Barraza. Alongside with me are my co-hosts, Kendall Whitley and Jerry Martinez. How are you guys doing?
Doing great, man. We launched this YouTube, trying to test these new waters out here. See, hey, you can see faces now, so it's nice. Let's see what's out there.
Yeah, and remember, it's going to be under the East West Football Network, a branch, right? But yes, it all started off with the podcast, and looking forward to being able to bring you, our actual podcast, so you'll be able to see our facial expressions and, like what Kendall said, put a face to a voice, right? And of course, there's so many other things that we're going to be bringing to this YouTube page. So, all the subscriptions that we can get, greatly appreciate it, and of course hitting that like button as well.
Yes, and how Jerry mentioned, make sure you subscribe to the channel to get all our latest content. Also, make sure you subscribe to our podcast available on Apple, Anchor app, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and wherever there's a podcast available, we're on there. All right, guys, so let's get started. So the NFL season is just around the corner. A lot of different things going on, especially with COVID-19. This season is going to look a lot different from what we're used to.
Yes, I want to see what Tom. I think the big storyline is Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. You want to see how they do in Tampa Bay, as some people might say.
Tampa Bay, yes.
See what Brady can do with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Brady and Gronk and all those weapons he's going to have here. But I'm going to take it to. I want to see how these new wide receivers, these rookie wide receivers, Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, how they adjust to what the world's going on today, and then getting acclimated with a new quarterback in their new team. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens there, and I can't wait. Right around the corner.
Yeah, man. Just what, football is back, right? And I know there's still some things that the league has to do as far as making sure the safety of the players, but also their families. And I know that's something that we've been seeing lately, as far as, hey, players are starting to get some pushback, right? As far as, hey, we want to play, but we want the safety. We want to know what do you have planned? And I'm pretty sure the NFL has always been the trailblazers when it comes to changing something within the season or the play style, right? And usually after that, all the other leagues just kind of follow suit. So let's see what the NFL has up their sleeves, and let's see how this new season that we've never been seen before turns out.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure out how to keep the fans and the players safe. For me, I feel like there should be no fans at any games this year due to everything going on, because, of course, safety should be their number one priority. So no fans. It's just going to be a lot better for the players, right? And not to be able to spread the virus in bigger crowds. So no fans. You guys can watch, the games from home. Have a good TV, and you're going to have a great time.
Yes, unfortunately, because I did want to attend a few games this year, but it doesn't look like I'll be doing that. And the Philadelphia Eagles, they've already said they're not going to have no fans at their games this year. So that's one team that's already been put out. They're not having fans. Some teams have already said that they're going to lower the capacity if they are able to have fans. But I think ultimately there's not going to be no fans at games this year. So we have to get used to watching something new.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that's the safest thing. No fans, right, for anything. Maybe they can assess it towards the latter part of the season and see, if by then, let's see if this storm has already kind of like, it basically no longer exists. I mean, look at the other countries. The other countries, I mean, that have gone through this whole ordeal. They don't have any more cases. You know what I mean? So if they don't have any more cases, why can't we have any more cases?
Yeah.
All it does is start with us. We got to make sure we wash our hands, wear our mask, and we be good, man. That's all we got to do.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the NFL can be creative like they were for the draft, right? I mean, we had a virtual draft, and I felt like it was a big success, right? I mean, it was the first time they ever did something like that, and I felt like they did a real good job.
Yeah, I think they did a real great job. That was the first thing that we seen this offseason, and we didn't think there was going to be an NFL draft, but Roger Goodell in the NFL, they made a way to make it happen.
Yeah, I think that they even broke the record, right?
Yeah.
They broke the viewership record. I think it was 66 million.
A lot of people.
A lot. It was just crazy. I don't know if that number is accurate, but I just remember it was just like when we were able to see that number from the one from last year, It was just it
Yeah.
just completely blew out of the water. And I think like what you said, the NFL is very very creative as far as being able to put a show out, right? Because the show must go on as always.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully we do have a season. I feel like we will. It's just no fans. Keep everyone safe. Besides, the pandemic, COVID-19 happening, the NFL is going to look a lot different. We have players in different places now, and I think the biggest name that's has a new home is Tom Brady in Tampa Bay.
Tom Brady in Tampa Bay, man. Hey, he's not in New England anymore. He's with the Buccaneers with Bruce Arians and all those weapons they got there in Tampa. So, I can't wait. That's the biggest storyline of the offseason.
I'm sorry, I should have said Tampa Bay, not Tampa Bay. Tampa.
I mean, you can add Rob Gronkowski to that list too, right? Because I mean, Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, they've been teammates for years, and I mean, it's gonna be totally different, right? I'm pretty sure they're gonna have success. They are gonna have success. I don't know if they're gonna be able to, reach the Super Bowl in 1 year because, I think that who was it? Was it on our previous podcast? Was it who was it that? Yeah, I think
KJ Johnson.
KJ Johnson. He kind of said, he says if it was during a regular off season, maybe they could make a very strong case to make a push into the playoffs. But because of this whole ordeal of how things have been going, these guys were not able to practice there was no OTAs, right? So there was no familiarity getting up to speed with the playbooks. Yes, I understand they all have the playbooks, but it's one thing to have the playbook, but also to be able to practice with your own teammates. So, I mean, I still believe in Tom Brady, and I think that him and Rob Gronkowski are still going to find ways to win and to put up a good fight, and especially in that division, that stacked division.
Yeah, I feel like they have a really good chance getting to the NFC Championship game. But of course, we'll see once the season starts off. Another player that's in a different place now is Cam Newton.
Hey, Cam Newton, he signed with the Patriots a couple weeks ago. Hey, man, him and Bill Belichick, we're gonna see what happens there. I can't wait to see this story.
Well, I think that if anything, we're gonna see right that it is a system. It is a system. It is a system that Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels have mastered, and I think that Cam Newton, he's hungry. He looks like he's ready to just to fall into that system and have some success. So I'm not saying he's going to put up some gaudy numbers, but he's going to put up a case. He's going to put up a best case I don't think we're going to see any other quarterback out playing for the playing quarterback for the New England Patriots this season.
Yeah, you know what? I think a change of scenery is really going to help him out, especially having a disciplined coach like Bill Belichick and also Josh McDaniels. So we'll see what he does right with that offense. I mean, he doesn't really have too many weapons there besides a couple. But yeah, that's just something we're going to have to keep an eye on. Also, another quarterback that has a new home. He's not starting, but he's in a good position. Jameis Winston. He's with the New Orleans Saints now and backing up Drew Brees.
Yeah, he gets to learn from Sean Payton and Drew Brees on how to play the quarterback role. He was a disaster in Tampa Bay, threw a lot of picks, had a lot of turnovers. So get him there in that Saints system with Brees and Payton. It's gonna be a different Jameis Winston if he gets a chance to play. Maybe in the future, he could be their future quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, you just hope that he takes advantage of this opportunity to learn behind one of the best. And who knows? I mean, if Drew Brees does, retire after this season, maybe Jameis Winston is their answer at quarterback, and they don't have to look too further, and they don't have to, invest a draft pick on there. So, I mean, when you stop and you look at the big picture, I think that this is a great opportunity for Jameis Winston overall.
And as we all know, Drew Brees actually already has a contract with NBC Sports to start working with them once he retires. And, I feel like he's one hit away from being out the whole season. So Jameis Winston's in a really great position to start. A lot of weapons on that team. But the best of all, he's got a coach in Sean Payton that he's a good teacher. He likes to develop quarterbacks. So I feel like Jameis is in a really good situation.
Yes.
Also, Teddy Bridgewater, and now he's going to be the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. As we all know, last year he backed up Drew Brees and played in 6 games and did a really good job leading that offense.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's gonna be a crazy. I like Bridgewater going to the Panthers and whatnot. They don't have a lot of weapons, but we'll see what they can do there.
I mean, I think that when you look at the big picture, he was able to study behind one of the best, right? Which is who we were talking about earlier, Drew Brees. So he understands preparation now. And you add that to the player that he was with the Vikings, he's had enough time to rest up and you know what I mean, completely heal from that injury that took him out of playing football with the Vikings. And I think that some of the post interviews and whatnot, I mean, he just has a different swagger. I mean, he's dancing and stuff like that. So I think that it is going to be, he's a different quarterback than Cam Newton. I'm not saying he's going to put up better numbers than Cam Newton, but I think he's going to bring different elements to the game at the quarterback position that they haven't had in a while, right? Which is a quarterback that's going to get the ball down the field accurately and go through his progressions and his reads. So I think that if anything, going back to who we just previously talked about, I think if Teddy Bridgewater could do it there when he was behind Drew Brees, I think Jameis Winston could do the exact same thing. So,
And I feel like, Cam and Teddy both needed a fresh start either way. So
sure.
we'll see how they do. Another player that's with the new team, Phillip Rivers with the Indianapolis Colts now.
Hey, that's gonna be an interesting one, man. Phillip Rivers with the Colts, they got a good offensive line. They got a few weapons around there, so it'll be very good to see what he's gonna see there. See what he's gonna do there.
The good thing is it's in a dome, right? So there's not going to be too many, of those situations where he's having to throw, where there's a lot of wind. And the one thing that we've always seen with Phillip Rivers is that he likes to get the ball down the field. I mean,
Yep.
yeah, they have T.Y. Hilton. I mean, he's the only notable wide receiver right now that people can relate to. I know they drafted Paris Campbell last year in the second round, but he really didn't have much of a season during his rookie campaign. And I know they brought in Michael Pittman, which is a totally different built wide receiver than they were used to. You're talking about a full size, a grown man that's playing a wide receiver.
Yep.
So, and then they reinforced that running game. So anything was to happen with Marlon Mack, they got a superstar waiting at running back. And I think that Phillip Rivers is in a great opportunity right now. He has, the offensive guard Quentin Nelson. I mean, he's set up for success. It doesn't take him very much to learn the system. He's been in the league for many years. I think he's going to make the Colts offense a little bit different, a different dynamic than it has been the last couple of years.
I don't know about that, man. I really don't. I saw him play a lot of games, as you guys know, I'm a Raiders fan, so I would see a lot of his games over here in California. I just don't know if he still has it. It looks like he gets frustrated a lot faster than what he did before, and sometimes he makes that quick decision than rather just look down the field and just let the play develop a little bit longer. So we're going to see about that. Also, DeAndre Hopkins, he's with the Arizona Cardinals now. That was a big one, and I believe that was the first player that got traded in the offseason. The first big surprise.
It really started all season off with DeAndre Hopkins going to the Cardinals. It happened out of nowhere, man. And I can't believe the Texans got rid of him. I still can't get rid of him. So, man, I can't wait to see how DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray, how they do this year. The chemistry.
You know what I can't believe is they traded him for a bag of chips.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that Kyler Murray is going to make sure that he gets that he's going to cash in, and he's going to make sure that he gets DeAndre Hopkins the ball. I mean, they got wide receivers all across the board, right? They still got Larry Fitzgerald, who's been, man, one of the biggest superstars of all time playing wide receiver. You also got Christian Kirk. You also have Andy Isabella. So
you got a lot of weapons.
They got a lot of weapons. And I think that DeAndre Hopkins is going to have a great season this year. And, wow, just going to be crazy to see him in a different uniform, though.
Yes.
Yeah, and one player that's still out there and hasn't signed with the team is Jadeveon Clowney. So we know teams interested in the services are the Raiders, Titans, Browns, and Seattle Seahawks. Where do you guys see him?
Man, I see him end up going back to Seattle. It's been not too long. I think he's going to end up if he wants the money, as I said previously, he go to the Raiders. If not, you go back try to win your championship in Seattle with Seattle. I think he's going to go back there in the next couple of weeks. I think before the season starts, he'll be at Seattle Seahawks.
Oh man, the thing with him is that he has so many options, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint where he's going to want to go. I think wherever, like I think the Seattle is a good pick because I think he wants a ring. You know what I mean? So I think he's going to go with a Super Bowl contending team, and one where he can get the most money, even if it's on a 1-year deal. So it'd be. I think it's one of those things where he should really take a look at the entire landscape and kind of be, where can I excel so I can cash in on my next payday. So that's one thing that he should be taking into consideration.
Yeah, I think he's going to wait till a little bit before the season starts. I don't think he wants to be in training camp. As we all know, with veteran players, they hate training camp, and I feel like maybe he already has his mind made up. He just wants to wait a little bit longer too.
Yeah.
What would you guys say is the most interesting storyline going into the season?
Oh, it's a bunch of them. I'm going to go. Can Belichick do it without Tom Brady? That's what I think. I think how the Patriots going to do this year with Cam Newton. Now Tampa's going to do it with Tom Brady.
That's a real good one. I'm going to go with. I hate to be a homer, right? But I'm going to go with Dallas Cowboys. I mean, they got rid of the clapper, right? Jason Garrett. He had 9 years as head coach, almost 10
9 years clapping. That's a long time, man.
Yeah.
Clapping.
Almost 10 seasons with Dallas Cowboys. I mean, if anything, you got Mike McCarthy, who, man, I mean, when he was with the Packers, what were they doing? They were always pushing into the playoffs, right? They were always pushing into the playoffs. So I think that if anything, Dak maybe can learn a couple of things with Mike McCarthy as his head coach. As far as maybe scanning the entire field from left to right, and working on his footwork and just implementing. I mean, man, even when Randall Cobb was there in Green Bay, Randall Cobb played at the slot a lot of times, and man, he put up. I mean, he had, I think it was 3 years where he put up almost. Well, I know for sure he did put up 1 year with 1,000 yards receiving, and I think 10 touchdowns. The other ones were like 800, 900 yards receiving. But I know Randall Cobb has been filled with some injuries. But you look at the Dallas Cowboys. What did they get in the draft? They got CeeDee Lamb, and he's going to be playing in the slot. And CeeDee Lamb is just he's just the alpha dog when it comes to his size and his demeanor, the way he plays the game. So it's going to be interesting to see him in the slot. And it's a big year for Dak Prescott. If he could put up another great year, great stats, right? I think that, it's gonna be an interesting time, especially towards the end of the season. What kind of contract is he gonna be extended to, or is he gonna be franchised? So those are the storylines that don't want to go away, and we got to keep on staying tuned.
And I'm gonna agree with Kendall. I feel like this, can Bill Belichick do it without Tom Brady? Can Tom Brady do it without Bill Belichick? We're going to find out very soon who was the most important, part to their success that they had in New England.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to go ahead and wrap up our first YouTube video. Again, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Also, for all your latest news and content, make sure you go on www.eastwestfootballnetwork.com. We got some really great articles on the website. We have a very talented team, and they do a great job with that.
Yes, man. Hey, man, we got a lot of things on the way coming, man. We got a big network up under us. And like I said, this is our first YouTube video, and we're gonna learn a lot from here. We're gonna go deep.
Trust me, guys. The website, tons of great teams. I mean, we got great authors. We got a great draft team. You know what? It's gonna be an actual central for all your draft needs.
Yep.
Yeah. Draft Central, yes.
Yes,
be great.
That's exactly right. We have the best draft team from one side of one coast to the other coast and everything in between. And we're gonna work hard. We're gonna bring you the best. We're gonna bring you mock drafts. I mean, everything, guys, everything you need. And stay tuned, man. There's gonna be so many so many different avenues on this channel. So hopefully you subscribe and you tell your friends and they subscribe, and of course you like all the content, and we can't wait to hear your comments.
Yes, and then for all your latest football content, EastWestFootballNetwork.com is going to be the place to go. We have everything covered. We have a writer for each NFL division. Jerry mentioned we have the scouts that are going to be working with us, draft analysts. So it's going to be great. It's a really exciting time for us. So really excited to share this first video with you guys, and we hope you enjoyed it. And again, be expecting more of these in the near future. But that's going to go and wrap it up for the East West Football Podcast. Again, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Stay safe.
Yes.